Let's look at Purdue's starting lineup.
Batting average, her on-base percentage, even better than that. The 1-2 punch there with their speed, that has been the best.
And for Wisconsin, in the circle starting for them, Gabby Salo. She is having a career year and has worked to get to this point to be that top starter for this team.
Yeah, the upper 60s, the high velo, the curve, the rise, the change, and the added drop that has really increased her effectiveness. That's what's made her.
Not seeing a lot of power from those two spots, but that's not what this team is looking for from them. And here, working a great at bats, but Salo has worked back to even it up. Foul ball there by Banks.
One of the things that she's really done a good job at this year to kind of improve that on-base percentage is to kind of get Banks there at first base.
And is going to be an error on Salo with just a softly tapped grounder she couldn't quite gobble up. And here comes Mariah Poehler, who is putting up ridiculous numbers this season. Immediately gets a swing on there, 1-1.
You know Purdue at the top of this lineup, they're going to be aggressive stealing on the base path, get runners in scoring position.
Poehler watches that one go by, and Salo strikes back, sending down someone who's 8th in the entire country in batting average.
Number 8, designated player, Kendall Bailey.
And this is a great way to answer. Great pitch by Salo, sawed her off right at the hands to make it an easy ground ball for Hubbard at shortstop. To score the huge win to get that second out.
And that is out number 3. Couple 2-out runs come across. Wisconsin picks up the bats when we come back here in Oklahoma City. A senior this season, Coach Rizzotti says she stayed on campus, just honed in on that individual training with the goal of being the best version of herself, and she is having a career year, 2.40 ERA. And also no wind. Our flags at center field are completely motionless.
Until yesterday, behind you that can work, you've got a pitching staff that has a different way that you can deliver, different pitchers that can do their job.
This one gets out into the outfield and quickly tracked down by Banks. And that will end the inning. Klochak retires the side, needed only 12 pitches as we return to the top of the second. Over Wisconsin. A 2-out base hit by Julia Gossett. And then a 1-2-3 inning by their pitcher, Kendall Klochak. And it will be Jordan Ramos at the plate, someone who stepped into an everyday role for the first time in her career.
Batters to get off timing, off balance. That's going to keep these bats from really digging into a pitch, driving the pitch.
Ramos that time bounced up the middle, and it is out number 1. Activity as a slapper.
Yeah, and I feel like in the NCAA itself, like there's more parity this year than any, but there's a lot of parity in the Big Ten itself. And I feel like you can't ever rule anybody out. I mean, just going back to this game, even like Coach Yvette Healy, like you can never rule her out. Just her team always, the grit that they bring in, the determination, they're in every game. They never think they're out of it. Down on the ground and into the outfield and gets herself on first base. That's all it takes.
Popped up and then tracked down by Ashlyn Campbell. Scooting back is Lewis, out number 2. But Klochak responds after her first base hit with a 1 pitch out.
And this a quick first pitch. expecting that Banks was going to have some sort of short game. This was just a gorgeous bunt, dropped beautifully in. And even knowing it was coming, this defense did not have the ability to beat out that speed. And just out
her IQ, how she really hones in on details, the process and routine. Did not feel like she played up to her standards against Big Ten competition, and that just fueled her to have this year she's having, as that off speed just misses.
Good heads up there by Polar. That was close to the zone, but a little bit high. Took 1 second look at it and chose not to. About how do they defend on a bunt with speed on the base path? She drops that bunt down. Who covers where? Really get them on their toes.
I have to imagine, Jenny, this situation, on your toes is a great way to put it. If you are any opponent for Purdue and have this exact situation, how you have to. Very intricate defense against this situation for Purdue, and Wells pumping up her pitcher after that strikeout.
And no better way to get a second. How you throw her. One swing at the bat can change things. Obviously, her ability to get the ball into the outfield is another thing. 2 runs can score easily with a ground ball into the outfield. So you want to think about how you throw her. Maybe a little bit of a conversation about that before you approach how to attack her here.
Bello trying to get back in. Ground out with a base hit, otherwise inducing ground balls and contact up and down. 8, 9, and 1 due up here.
So far, yeah, Klochek she's just found a way to let her defense work. No strikeouts. 4 pop flies. Her pitches are phenomenal. Right on the corner there, getting a great corner. A curveball that just curves right off and grabs a bit of that corner. You only need a small portion of the ball. She gets it for a backwards K. It's like she heard me when I said she didn't have any strikeouts. She grabbed one right there.
Emily Bojan right now, but responds with a line out, and then the tag is made. The inning is over. The Badgers finally showing some life offensively, but quickly doused by Purdue's defense with the double play. Student and someone who has just gradually worked her way into this top of the rotation kind of role. She's dealt with injuries throughout her career, but she
out to left field, out to Schlosser.
Jordan Ramos now at the plate. One of the many speedsters on this team. And you heard Coach Healy talk to us about, we knew what we were going to see coming into it, but the speed on the base paths, how they handled.
When she got there, Wisconsin did a good job getting the ball all the way in, Kuffel threw it, made a good throw all the way to Blomberg at third base, just not in time.
10 triples this season now for Purdue. Coming into today, they were already tied for first in the Big Ten, top 30 in the nation. That's the second triple this season for Ramos, and I think you're right. She just put her head down and she was churning.
Ramos, as soon as the crack of the bat hit, that Ramos was going no matter what, no matter where it was.
And still more speed in the box when Ashlyn Campbell comes up to the plate. There are really no breaks in this Purdue lineup when you look at speed. 2.
Starting with that off speed, Gabby Salo. Why not, right? Start introducing that off speed a little bit earlier on in the count. This is your 3rd time through the lineup. Chloe Banks really trying to time something a little bit different.
Hit in the air to right field. And getting underneath it is Meeks. One pitch and one out already for Klochek.
Yeah, and Klochek, again, command doesn't always have to be strikeout, 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 strikeout. A lot of times you can talk dominance or, you know, through strikeouts. And to me, what she's doing, the swings here in these early at-bats have been early pop-ups, which has been outs, but at the same time, like if you can really command that early on in the zone strike, Klochek is delivering strikes. You just have to go and connect with the pitch and really see that pitch and deliver it.
Check. Now coming back in the second inning. Blasted into the... Kendall Bailey at the plate, and she's hit for a second time.
On a hit by pitch. You could tell that Gabby Salo was looking to stay inside. Second hit by pitch there. And again, quality at bats for Kendall Bailey is the key. And again, not looking for hits always. She has 2 hit by pitches and a sacked bunt today. When you talk about quality, and it's always amazing to me when we talk about speed and short game and all these things that when we talk about teams and all of a sudden they come through with the long ball. And here comes Delaney Reef with the power and just lifts this, tags this ball, hits the sweet spot, and drives it over the fence. Great extension, finds her pitch, and puts 2 more on the board.
Mackenzie Foster subbing into the game. Couldn't quite get a handle on it.
Yeah, this is a big thing. When you have a team, number one, when the team's ahead, and number two, when they have speed, even when it's not your fastest players on the offense, you cannot afford to have miscues defensively. You have to play clean defense because the key is not to get anybody on base. Because the speed is with McCauley. You take Gossett out. So you've got 2 quick runners on first and second base. You've got Ramos, who's got speed. So now you've got a hitter up that can do short game, that can hit the ball far. You're in a good situation. She's already put the ball in play pretty deep on Salo. Like if you're Purdue, you're in great position to really do a lot. And if you're defense for Wisconsin.
The outfielder. Bases are loaded as Ramos scampers back to first, and Purdue keeping its foot on the gas here in the 5th inning.
And I'll tell you what, if Ramos didn't have anybody in front of
this season was a walk-off grand slam. That
battling hard here.
Hit hard up the middle. That's going to bring in a run, maybe 2. The throw is coming to the plate, not in time. And Purdue adds more, this time with the freshman pinch hitter at the bottom of the order. This inning rolls on.
Now,
the speedy part of the lineup due up top of the order with Chloe Banks, and just 1 out as well. And this is what Coach Healy told us. You're going to see a heavy dose of lefties with both Purdue and Michigan this week here in Oklahoma City. And now good depth on this staff with 7 different pitchers to choose from.
And Coach E has the best numbers on the team. It's not just her in this lineup that they have to be careful of.
Poehler is going to reach base. Now for the second time. Flared up the middle. And Lucy can't beat it out. It's out number 1.
Campbell was playing deep.
Get off the bat initially with the shadow situation.
Yeah, I think sometimes it can. I know from the pitcher's circle specifically, you can see it a little bit that you can't necessarily see the ball come off the bat as well. In this situation, I think on this hit, it was just a good solid hit, and Banks just didn't quite get to it in time. She had a great attempt to try to dive for it, get her glove underneath it, and she just didn't get there in time. Good solid hit by
No solid contact there from Gossett as Scarmardo comes up. Or rather, it's going to be a pinch hitter, Ryan Ross, for the first time today.
Pinch hitting for Purdue.
How about to execute there, not allow these runners to advance? And of course, Scarmardo trying to get in that rundown. Hubbard does a good job just running her back, keeping Reef honest there at third base.
Chopped up to short again and bounces off of Hubbard. Number 9 hitter Ashlyn Campbell will take strike one. You alluded to it earlier, Jenny. The depth that Purdue is displaying in this game, where everyone seems to know their role